Oh, hi guys. Welcome to the latest episode of Cricket Draft Insights. We know which teams are going to be in the One Day Cup final now, Glamorgan and Somerset. So it's an appropriate time for me to inform you as to how I've been getting along. I've been getting along absolutely diabolically. Last year, I finished 107th in the One Day Cup, and I knew it was going to be a big ask to follow that up. But I was hopeful of getting somewhere near that. I'm currently about 500th and something, absolute mid-table obscurity. So what went wrong? Well, ultimately I didn't pick Ed Barnard, which was a bit naive of me. I go back to a few years ago when I first started playing in the county championship. The bedrock of my team was Ryan Higgins and Ed Barnard, and then Ed Barnard left Worcestershire to join Warwickshire, and he didn't start too well in the county championship, so I didn't pick him in the One Day Cup last year, and obviously he did very well. And for some reason, I just still haven't turned to Ed Barnard. And this year in the One Day Cup, I thought I was spoiled for choice in all rounders, but a lot of my regulars, they just let me down. Kieran Carlson has not made a 50, and I don't think he's taken a wicket. He only bowled in one or two games. Rob Keogh played a couple of games. I don't really know what Northamptonshire were doing with their selection. Cameron Steele did very well on the wicket-taking front. I think he was the leading wicket-taker around the end of the group stages, but he didn't really contribute anything with the bat. Benkenstein was another I mentioned, and he did well, but obviously I didn't pick him. And the thing about Ed Barnard doing so well, there's 2 weeks where he scored big hundreds, took wickets. If he's captain for 50, 60%, you're obviously going to struggle in the table. 883rd I was in the first week. I think I did all right the second. And then I was 1,003rd or something in the third week. So despite then having a couple of weeks, I think I finished 142nd week two. Then having a couple of weeks where I finished 55th, 43rd, like it got me up to about 400th, and then I've just done rubbish, done absolute rubbish today as well. So unless I have some absolute like wild card captaincy success in the final of the One Day Cup, it's going to be very disappointing, which is a shame because call myself Cricket Draft Insight. I would like to do well. I've had a couple of top 20 finishes in some competitions, but then we might refer to the county championship, the T20 Blast, the One Day Cup as being maybe some of the bigger main competitions. Hopefully, I can still finish well in the county championship and the T20 Blast. I'm around 400th and something in the county championship, which is where I finished a couple of years ago, and I'm about 250th maybe in the T20 Blast, which again is where I finished a couple of years ago, before having poor campaigns last year. But I reiterate, I have had a couple of good finishes in one or two other competitions. I had a good bowling attack. I had 1 week where my bowlers, between them and all rounders, they took 3 or 4 wickets in every innings. I had 3 batters or wicket keepers who scored 150s, but it just still didn't add up because my all rounders with bat and ball just didn't do enough. And as I say, with Barnard being in so many people's teams, when he did well and people captained him, you're just going to fall behind and be in the bottom half, aren't you? It's easy to say, oh, in hindsight, I should have picked Barnard, but like we knew hindsight, we knew hindsight from last year. So anyway, underwhelming campaign, but I'm glad to hear how well all you guys are doing. Some of my loyal followers, really great to see, pushing really towards the top of some competitions, and I will emulate you in competitions to come, just not in the 2024 One Day Cup. Just to break it down even further, just into like some selections. So Tom Moores is one that I've spoken about, scoring runs quickly. I thought he'd done well pre-season, then he didn't make the team. But ultimately, I ended up with Gareth Roderick in my team. Went from Nottinghamshire, had a couple of double game weeks, to Worcestershire having 3 consecutive double game weeks. Like, he's obviously a decent batter, and he's an opening batter, keeping wicket, and he even does that in the county championship. Which brings me to that, and just thinking about making smart selections. And I still think I have made some good selections in competitions. I have made good selections in this competition, but as I say, one or two of my players, they let me down, and I think it's important thinking ahead to next year. There's still a few weeks obviously left in competitions this year, but maybe a little bit of a loyalty reset. That said, Carlson scored 180 not that long ago. He's still going to be in my county championship team, as will Rob Keogh with the Kookaburra ball. I think both those players, could be of value in the county championship. We've got doubts over whether or not Ryan Higgins will be fit, and obviously comparisons have been made to Higgins in the county championship and Barnard in the One Day Cup and captaining them. So it'll be interesting to see if Higgins isn't fit. People go different ways, don't they? They go in different directions in terms of who they're captain, and then that'll make the table quite volatile. But hopefully, some of my regulars there can still be of value in the county championship. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I'd love to tell you how I'm, soaring towards the top of the table, but I'm not. So please look out for some more videos. I've got got some ideas for 1 or 2 videos in the off season, which might not be strictly cricket draft, but might be close enough, or even just 1 or 2 cricket draft related videos. And I'll see what I can get out in the sort of September time. But yeah, once again, thank you very much for watching. Wish you all the best in the rest of all the competitions, County Championship, T20 Blast, and the One Day Cup. How's that?